Hi guys, let's quickly make a simple kaftan boubou gown using adire polish, sample lace, using velvet bias, and it also comes with cut together pockets. I know I've done a tutorial like this before, but not with the sample lace, not with this style, right? So that's what we're going to do today quickly. Hi guys, my name is Fatima Yusuf, and on this platform I share sewing tutorials. If there's something you like to learn, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get to it. So these are my materials. I have 5 yards of adire polish. It comes in 5 yards, and I have 4 yards of this velvet bias, and I have half yard of this sample lace. So I've folded my fabric using my length, my client's length. I folded the length twice and added additional allowance. So this is the folded, and the upper part is slitted. So let's say your client's length is 60, so you'll be marking 62 times 2 of it. Then you can slit it open in the middle, because you'll be folding using the width, not the length of the fabric, because it's not long. You understand? Just fold your fabric the normal way you fold for your gown when you're working with your Ankara. So here I'm just going to draw a border line. Use a ruler to draw that, but I couldn't find my ruler at this point. I just used my free hand. I trusted my free hand, so I just traced a line. So all our measurements will start from that line. So for the neck width, I measured 4 inches. My client liked her length to be a little bit wide. Then downward, I went down by 2 inches. That is going to be for my back neckline. It's going to be a round neckline, while the front neckline, we're going to make it a V. So I went down by 6. You know, mostly my V neckline I stop at 6 or 7, so I'll just use that one to form the V neckline, right? So we've marked and drafted round neckline for the back, V neckline for the front, right? So I'll go to the other side here. I'm going to mark 0.5 inch. That will serve as to form my shoulder slope. You can use 1 inch if you want, but I kind of prefer using 0.5. But you can as well use your 1 inch. It's going to be perfect. There's no problem with that. So I'll just use a slant line to meet my neck width. I couldn't find my ruler, so I'll be using my tape to do this, right? So that's what I'm just going to do here. Yes, so after doing that, from that my 0.5 inch, I'm going to go down to mark my sleeve opening, which is 10. I use 10 in this case, and inward of that 10, I'm going to impute my client's hip divide by 4, and I'll be adding 5 inches. So in this case, I marked 16, right? So I marked that. So I'll just cross checking. I'll be able to get the 10 again. So I'll now take that 16 down to the end of my fabric, right? Cut the kaftan boubou like that without adding pocket. You can add patch pocket later on, but me, I'll be adding a cut together pocket. So I've finished taking the 16 down, right? So now I'll measure where I want my pocket to start from. I'll be using 16 in this case. Then downward of that my 16, I'm going to mark 6 inches. That will serve as my this pocket opening, right? So I'll just put my hand, I'll use my free hand to just mark out the shape of the pocket I want. You can use any shape of pocket you want in this case, right? So that's what I did, and I'm done drafting. Very easy and very simple. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the neckline. You know, you cut out round first, the back, if you're not doing the same thing for back and front. So I'll just cut the shoulder slope, and I'll cut the sides. I think I've posted about 3 videos of kaftan boubou on this my channel, so if you've been following me for a while, it won't be a problem. But if you're new here, you can go check my videos. You see different styles that I've made using making kaftan boubou, even with the one with patch pocket in front. You understand? So this is the front piece, the one with V neckline, and the one with round neckline is the back piece. So for the back piece, I'm just going to cut out an interface. I've done that already. I'll cut out an interface for the neckline. So now we work with the front piece, right? I'm going to be stitching a lace on it. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to fold the sample lace. The length depends on what you want. This is half yard. The length is supposed to be 18, but it was 16. They didn't cut it equally. So I folded the amount that I felt like it was going to be okay. You don't want to fold too much. So I'll place my fabric on it, making sure that the close sides are lines. Then I'll just cut out the neckline on it. You trace out the neckline like you're cutting on a lining for it, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Then after I've done that, from the neck width, right, I'm going to mark 5 inches. I marked 5, but when I was cutting, I extended it to 6. But please just stick to 5. It will be okay. You can use 5 or 4 inches. So now I'm done tracing the neckline, right? So I'm going to take my tape, and then I'm going to outward. I'm going to mark 5 inches, right? So I'll now use my tape again to make that 5 inches to meet the other end, the opposite end, like this, because you're forming a V. You understand? So that's what I'll just do. So I'll just mark it out, and then I'll be cutting off. So that's why I said you don't need to fold too much. I actually folded too much. But you don't need to fold too much. So this was the length I had. It was 16. They didn't cut the lace out perfectly. That's why it's supposed to be 18 since it's half yard, right? So I'll just cut out the V shape that I already mark out carefully. So after doing this, right, I'm going to place it on my adire, on my Kampala. So this is what you do. Place the right face of this lace on the wrong face of the adire fabric. So this is it. I didn't capture that part. So you place the right face on the wrong face of the adire fabric, then you stitch the neck, right? So this is it. So that's the wrong face, and I place the right face of the lace on it, and I stitch the neck using 1/2 inch. And then when you turn it outward, it's going to, the right face of the lace will now be facing you. Understand? So the wrong face of the lace will be facing the right face of the fabric, while the right face will be facing outside. You understand? So just make sure you place your right face of your lace on the wrong face of your adire, and then you stitch the neckline, and when you turn it over, you get to understand what I'm saying. So after doing that, I'm going to give it a good iron press, and then you'll be needing hemming tape. I didn't have much, so I just had to minimize. I didn't have much, so I just placed the amount I felt like would be okay. So but if you have enough, I would advise you actually place plenty so that it can sleep well. You understand? It won't move. It will just stick to the adire, and that actually gives it a very nice look. You understand? So I've done that. I ironed it. Then I'm going to bring my velvet bias. This is velvet bias. So I'm going to stitch it straight in the middle like this. So when I'm stitching this, it will be both sides. Then what I'm going to do is, again, since it's V, so we have 2 slant angles, right? Like it's forming. So now we're working with like Y in this case, not longer V. So now this is the down part of our Y. You stitch the 2 sides. Then the 2 slant line at the sides, right? You are going to place it on it like this. When you get to the middle, you cut it off. You cut it off in such a way that after cutting off, you can fold in a little bit later on when you get to the middle here. Then I'll cut another part again, let it get to the middle and fold it. So I stitch 2 sides of each of the bias. You understand? I didn't take it the way I showed you guys here. You can actually do like that and then fold it in the middle and then you stitch. But I did the 2 sides separately. I wasn't able to video that part, but that was what I did separately. So after I'm done doing this, right, I'm just going to place the back piece on it. I've already stitched the interface to the back piece neckline. I'm just going to place it on it, right? So this is it. I'm showing you guys I've stitched the interface to it. I've used my hemming tape to tape it down, give it a good iron press. I'll just join the shoulders together. After I'm done joining the shoulders together, so I cut from the excess I cut out by the side, I'll be using part of it to complete the sleeve length. I forgot to tell you guys about that, but if you've been watching my boubou tutorial, sleeve length won't be a problem. You measure from your middle back to your desired sleeve length. If this adire fabric won't be able to meet up with your sleeve length, you'll be adding band. Even if it will, you can cut it off, since if you want your style to be with this band. So I cut out the fabric and I also cut out the lace also. So for this, you can as well use your hemming tape to tape it to the Kampala, the adire, before stitching. So I'll just fold it, place it on the right face and then stitch 1/2 inch. So that's the band for the sleeve. I did that for both sides, and when I was done, I stitched the remaining velvet bias on it also to cover up that addition stitch, that stitch that we used to stitch the band to the sleeve part. Then I stitched my gown in this manner. I used 1/2 inch around the sleeve, and when I came to the body, I used 2 inches. Then I went in a direction, just watch my hand direction. That was how I stitched it. When I got to where I want my slits to start from, I top stitch, I opened up the fabric, I started hemming from the down. I got up, I went to the other side, I stitched the down part, and I hemmed the down part of my gown. And basically that was how I made the boubou, the kaftan boubou. Kaftan boubou are very easy to make, and they always look nice. And one thing about this is that this can actually fit any size. Even this one I made can fit any size, you understand? Depends on your clients. Maybe they want it to be baggy or they want it to be fitted, you understand? So this was the final result. Thank you guys for watching. If this video has been helpful in one way or the other, like I normally say, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for giving me super thanks. People giving thanks, thank you so much. I love you all. And thanks to all my new subscribers. You're welcome on board. And guys, I'm going to see you guys in another tutorial. Bye guys.